All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about one of the sneakiest ways the ACT science test tries to trip you up: ratios and percentages. And look, getting this down isn't just about grabbing a few extra points. It's about giving yourself a serious edge on the competition.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that situation where you read a science passage, you totally get it, but then you miss a question about a simple ratio and you have no idea what went wrong? Yeah, if that's you, you're definitely not alone. And there's a reason for that.
You've got to understand, these questions look easy. That's the whole point, but they are absolutely 100% designed to be traps. The test makers know that when you're under pressure, it is so easy to make one tiny mistake. But here's the good news: once you see how the traps are built, you can just walk right around them.
When you boil it all down, ratios and percentages are just simple tools for comparing stuff. That's it. They just show you the relationship between two numbers. So let's make sure we have a super solid foundation here.
So, what is a ratio? Well, it's just a way to compare how much of one thing you have compared to another. The classic example is a recipe, right? Like 3 parts flour to 2 parts water. It's not about the total amount of dough you end up with, it's all about the relationship between those ingredients.
Think of these as just different languages that are all saying the exact same thing. A ratio of 3 to 2 is identical to the fraction 3 over 2, which is, you guessed it, the same as the decimal 1.5. Getting super comfortable with switching between these is probably the first, biggest key to unlocking these questions.
Okay, so let's stop worrying about getting confused or overwhelmed. I'm about to give you a really simple 5-step game plan that is going to work every single time. This is how you take back control.
Seriously, you don't need to memorize a bunch of different methods. Just master this one strategy, and I promise you'll be ready for pretty much any ratio or percentage question the ACT decides to throw at you. All right, let's break this down. Step 1, and this is so important: identify. What two things are you actually comparing? Get your pencil out and circle them in the question. Next, step 2, convert. Get everything into the same format, usually fractions or decimals, because that makes the math way easier. Step 3 is about using the right tool. Is it just a simple comparison, or is it a percent change question? Because those use different formulas. Then, step 4, match units. This is such a classic trap. Are you comparing grams to kilograms? Nope. Make them the same first. And finally, step 5, just a quick gut check. Did the number go up or down? Make sure your answer actually reflects that.
So now that you have the game plan, let's look at the actual traps it's designed to help you avoid. Knowing the enemy's playbook is half the battle.
This is it. The number one mistake, hands down, is reversing the order. The question will ask for the ratio of A to B. If you accidentally calculate B to A, you'll get 3 to 2 instead of 2 to 3. And you can bet your bottom dollar that 3 to 2 will be sitting there as an answer choice, just waiting for you. But our step 1, identify, stops this from ever happening. And here are the other big ones people fall for: confusing percent change with percent of total, classic mistake. Our game plan fixes that in step 3 by making you pick the right formula. Forgetting a step, like dividing before you multiply by 100, this whole systematic process keeps you on track. Comparing different units? Well, step 4, match units, has your back. Mixing things up? Step 2, convert. Make sure everything is in the same language before you even start. See, every single one of these common errors is blocked by our strategy.
Okay, let's boil all of this down into a final cheat sheet. These are the big ideas I want you to have locked and loaded in your brain for test day.
This one is totally non-negotiable. Anytime you see the words percent increase or percent decrease, the original starting value, the old one, always goes on the bottom of the fraction. Why? Because that's the starting line. That's the baseline you're measuring the change from. Remember, it's new minus old divided by old.
Seriously, don't let the little colon symbol or the fancy wording intimidate you. The ratio of A to B is just the number A divided by the number B. That's it. If you think of it as a simple division problem, all the stress just melts away.
Now, this is a slightly deeper point, but it's so important for really understanding the science. A ratio of 2 to 1 doesn't actually tell you if the real numbers are 2 and 1, or if they're 200 and 100, or even 2 million and 1 million. It only tells you the relationship between them. It's all about the proportion, not the raw amount.
So here it is, all in one place. This is your mental checklist. Before you even start solving, circle the two things the question is asking about. Always check the units. If you need to find, say, 25% of something, just multiply by 0.25. And never, ever forget, For percent change, that original value is on the bottom. If you follow these steps, you're going to be in fantastic shape.
So what used to be a tricky little spot for losing points can now be the place where you are faster and more accurate than almost everyone else in the room. When you have a solid game plan, you can actually turn these questions into your secret weapon. You're ready for this. You've got it.